Greetings. Welcome to another episode of Just Joe Thoughts. I'm your host, Joe. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment or two, and help your boy out, So, anyways, today I want to talk to you guys about Black American culture and what has happened to Black American culture. And some of you may be wondering, what is this Haitian guy doing talking about Black American culture, right? And you should probably sit out of this one because you're Haitian. Well, although I was born in Haiti, I grew up in America, and most of my friends are Black Americans. And I've had the privilege to study American history as well as study Haitian history. And one thing that I've learned about American history is that Haitians helped America a lot, especially in the American Revolutionary War, where France pretty much sent Haitian soldiers to fight in the American Revolutionary War. I don't know if any of y'all know, but France and America were allies against the British. So, and the war that was fought in Savannah, Georgia, was a war that America won due to the involvement of Haitian soldiers. So yes, we have a part in your history. And not to mention, when Haiti won their independence in 1804, guess what happened? That's when America made the Louisiana Purchase. So if Haiti did not win its independence, America would be this small. Alright, so yes, let me speak on American culture. Thank you very much. I hope I made my case. Well, anyways, what has happened, or what is happening to Black American culture? As a Haitian man, I grew up and I realized a lot of Black Americans don't know their own history. And today, many of them don't care to know the history. All they're worried about is like trying to get some money, right? Majority of the Black Americans I've come across don't care to know about their own history. Many of you have heard of Tulsa, Oklahoma, as well as Rosewood, Black communities that were thriving and that were destroyed by white racists, mainly because they were thriving. Those weren't the only two. There were hundreds of others. Hundreds of communities, towns, cities where Black folks were displaced, and I'm talking about hundreds of thousands to even millions of Black people in America was displaced after losing their entire everything, their whole communities that they have built since post-slavery. Now, some may be saying why can't Black Americans pick themselves up by their own bootstraps? They have. Many have. During the Industrial Revolution, right, a lot of the inventions that was happening at that time was coming from Black slaves. They were slaves. They were working for free, right? And many of the inventions came from out of the need of necessity to make their work a lot easier. So, and a lot of us don't necessarily know who these Black folks are that invented most of these things that we're utilizing today, right? And even today there are many great Black inventors, great Black engineers and scientists and mathematicians, but we don't hear about them. We don't know anything about them, right? So we've had hundreds of communities burned down, flooded over, or bombed, right? Destroyed, mainly because of American racism. And then after that, Jim Crow, right? Where so many laws were pretty much against Black rise and Black success. And of course, you had many Black folks that was fighting for their civil rights. They weren't necessarily fighting for integration. They were fighting to be able to travel from one community to another without going through a sundown town. And hopefully you didn't reach that town during sundown, because you may not get out. And if many of you do not know what a sundown town is, it's a community, it's a white community where if you Black, you better not be caught there after sundown. Here in Miami, South Beach was a sundown town. So before the sun comes down, you had to get out of town. All right. That's what it was. That was the reality that Black American people was going through. But what they also had was community. They had family. They had a structure. They had a man in the house. They had a woman in the house. And they had children. They stick together. And for many, they were doing well. These communities had their own everything, their own banks, their own stores, their own police departments, their own hospitals. They had everything. And they lost everything. And now today, the narrative is Black people are just lazy. They don't want to do anything. And you know that is far from the truth. When you look at what makes this world any interesting, when you look at what Black people do in America, the whole world copies. Black people come out with pretty much every type of music genre there is, and the world benefits from it. Do Black folks benefit from it? They don't. Even R&B, hip-hop music, most of them never even own their own masters. Most of them don't own the music that they made. Somebody do though, but it ain't Black. And now when you turn on the radio, when you turn on television, when you see what is portrayed as Black culture, is pretty much degenerate culture. It's filth. It is everything about sex and everything about violence. After integration sets in, that's when drugs started to be flooded into the Black community. That's when, a lot of pimps became pimps because there was a lot of hoes to become hoes, right? And welfare was a thing where you had government agents coming, knocking at your door, making sure that there wasn't a man in the house. So there was so much that was happening in the Black community and also with governments, where communities was completely cut off. Communities were redlined, right? Preventing that community from growing, from having any wealth, right? And all types of racist practices was happening all over in every type of system that you can imagine. So now your Black communities has been torn apart. Your Black communities have been redlined, meaning you can't even make money in your own community the way that you used to. The mom and pop stores that were successful, they're no longer successful. Now you're forced having to go to downtown to try to find a job. And what's happening in those Black communities? Everything is going down, which pretty much made crime go up, drugs go up, and all of a sudden we have guns in the Black community. Now Black folks are killing one another. A lot of you don't necessarily know this history, but you definitely play a part in this history. You help create it. You buy into a systemic ideology of racism to destroy yourself that you're not even aware of. And many of you have become byproducts of a self-destructive mentality, where for many Black folks, when we see Black success, we don't see doctors, we don't see lawyers, even though they're all around us. We don't see the Black folks that are regular Black people working regular jobs, but making so many different companies filthy rich. What ends up happening is that the Black community starts to go down. The music that came out of the Black community that was helping us to rise, music that was about upliftment, music that was about rising from negative, impoverished conditions, to now the music is about keeping us in negative, impoverished conditions. It's about keeping us fighting with one another. So a lot has happened in Black American culture. Black Americans used to have pride in how they dress, and for many they still do, but the style of dress has completely changed. You look at the women, they half naked all the damn time. I remember a time where women weren't half naked. They were fully covered and was fly with it. How many of you today can dress fully and be fly and sexy while you covered? A lot of you don't even know how to do that. A lot of you sisters don't know how to look fly with your natural hair. A lot of you don't even think that your natural hair is beautiful. You gotta wear the perm and the weave. See, somebody is giving you this image of beauty that doesn't represent you, while the rest of the world is copying you. It's trying to be like you. They're taking your music, they're taking your style, they're taking everything that is beautiful about you. And then what they do to you is that they feed you an ideology, an idea of self-hatred, to make you dress in ways that is pretty much shameful, to make you dislike your own features, dislike your skin, dislike your hair, dislike everything that God made about you that is beautiful. And we're jamming to Sexy Red. We jamming to Sukihana. This is what our society has become. This is what Black American culture has become. And I won't even say that this is Black American culture, because it's not. This is a false representation of Black culture. And you know who is seeing this? The world. The world is not seeing Black people for the brilliance that you are, unless you're dunking a basketball or scoring a touchdown or singing, dancing. That's the only thing that you are allowed to be successful in. Everyone else, nobody speak on their success. So the kids, they want to be athletes. Most of them ain't gonna make it. They want to be rap stars. Most of them ain't gonna make it either. So this is what has become of our society. This will have become of Black American culture. It's a self-destructive culture, and it's by design. And many of you are pretty much following that design to the T.